make sure that the shit's working first before I get fucking crazy. All right. Sure. Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? Yep. Okay, it's working. Say some words.
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 Wow, look at that. Wow. All right, so just want to do a little Christmas talk with Ro over here. Why not? It's been a great year. Hopefully you guys have had a great year so far. What was your favorite part of the year so far? 2023. It's almost over. What'd you like to do?
For the whole year?
Yeah. What was like your highlights, I guess, or key takeaways of 2023?
My favorite thing was going back to school.
Yeah.
My least favorite thing was going back to school.
Your least favorite or your most favorite?
No, my most and least favorite. It was a high of going to school and deciding what I want to do, but it's not fun at my age to go back to school and all the stuff to maintain and balance.
Gotcha. So you passed though, right?
Yeah.
So you're moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got coming up in 2024, I guess, for school?
I have 2 classes this semester, so I did not do full time because it was too hectic last semester. So I'm knocking out 2 this semester.
Nice. That's awesome. But you do like the learning process and all that, like of school?
I love school.
Yeah.
I just think that school is a lot when you work full time. You're trying to maintain a relationship, friendships, and day to day.
We've been doing great with the relationship, so I'm grateful for that.
Thanks.
So when you went to school the first time, you went and got your associate's degree, right?
Yeah,
In education.
yeah, childhood education. So I taught for about 5 years, and then I needed a change because I was falling out of love of teaching, but I still love kids and teaching, but not in the setting that I was.
Gotcha. So now you're in the right field. You're going for nursing,
Yeah,
and that seems to fit what you like doing better.
helping people. Yeah.
You're making the lady stand. Yes, Biggie, I'm making her stand. It's burning calories. Like I said, we're going to lose like 10 calories or so.
I don't want to stand, but I'm going to be a good sport about it.
And that's Biggie. Like I said, he actually helps me a lot when it comes to snow runner. Because I'm not the smartest when it comes to the maps, and he kind of leads
Who's
me.
that?
Biggie. So this is the chat here.
Hey,
You'll see
Biggie.
People talking. Get the lady. Well, I mean, I have a chair, bro. Like, there's a chair right here.
I mean, I have my
See?
chair.
But yeah, but we got a stand-up desk, so then I got to sit. I mean, I guess if you want us, we can sit. It's up to you.
Yeah, eventually, if I decide I want to
We'll
sit.
see. I mean, it's not going to be doing this for like 2 hours, bro. Like, maybe like 5 more minutes. You know?
You said you'll get 10 calories you
Yeah,
burn.
that's true, right? Strong movement. So now you're going to school for nursing instead, and that's more what you want to do instead of education, right?
Yeah, I think my personality also too is I don't like doing one thing all day, and I think with teaching, and I know with going into nursing, I'm multitasking, and my brain is working at different capacities and things like that. So it's going to be good for me because I mean, right now I work from home, which I enjoy working from home, and what I do is it's repetitive.
Right. So what got you out of teaching, I guess? Like, what made you make the change from teaching to nursing? If you like kids and you like the academic side of teaching them and stuff like that.
I think more of like the passion in the sense of I think it's hard to teach in this climate. I think it's hard to nurture and to I guess I don't want to say love, but love kids in a way that I guess my style of teaching and my thought process and my mindset butt heads with the way kids are being exposed to things and taught and nurtured. So it's kind of hard to, let's say the right way. If I see a kid is struggling emotionally, mentally, that's my main focus. And so that they can achieve or be successful academically, but if they're struggling in one aspect that's distracting, then I think that should be the focus rather than just pushing them, and then they don't feel like anybody cares and things like that. But I think I also feel like education is more of like a business rather than when I was in school, where my teachers cared and they nurtured and they helped me and prepared for me to be in the real world rather than in a bubble.
So what do you think changed, I guess, over time with the teaching focus? Like you said, it's more of a business now than it was when we were growing up. Like, what do you think changed about it?
I guess I came from a background where parents and teachers, administration was on the same page and the same goal was educating the children, but also helping them in areas, whether it be home life or their environment, without it crossing a line of being disrespectful or overstepping. I feel like it's not a community anymore. I think it's separate entities happening. Um, and I think it's a multitude of things, to be honest.
Okay. Do you think that, like, the political aspects of it has impacted it a lot more, like in a negative or positive, than when we were in school?
I think, I guess it depends. I do think that I feel like, I don't know the right word, but I feel like parents aren't parenting, and I think teachers are parenting, but in a way based off their individual thought process. And I think there's a overstep, and I think there's one party is overstepping, and I think one party is not stepping up, and vice versa. So I think it's just a multitude of different things.
Gotcha.
But I'm also old school, and I don't have a real tolerance for the BS, and I also just think differently too. So
Gotcha. So do you think that it's like somewhat like you not necessarily disagree or agree, but it doesn't fit your personality type as far as like being in academics and trying to help just the way it's going?
I mean, I could turn off my personal views and opinions when I teach. So I have no. I think the thing is like, because I'm an emotional person and I get attached, it is hard to separate when it's time to go home.
Gotcha.
And I think
So
I
really
was.
shut off.
You can never really shut off when you teach, because you are teaching children and you're nurturing little minds. But I think it is also hard when you see things and there is a lack of respect, there's a lack of understanding and empathy and things like that. But again, it's a multitude of things. A lot of different things. It's not just one particular thing.
So what do you think going into nursing, like, so now you're like focused on that academic background. What do you think, like, because COVID just happened, and like, remember back in like 2020, nurses were kind of like, there was a lot going on as far as, not a lot of support, a lot of long hours, a lot of, like a lot of people in the hospitals, like kind of over the volume that they can, handle capacity wise. What do you think, if that ever happened again, do you think that that'd be super difficult to deal with?
I mean, I've been exposed to working in healthcare, so being overwhelmed and busy and things like that is not, it's not a thing that I fear. And also teaching when you're in a classroom with 20, 22, 30 kids, after a while you learn how to regulate
Yeah.
and control the situation. And some things is not controllable. That's why you kind of just like let it flow and let it go. I think for me, I am strong enough to be like, if it's not for me, then I can take a step back. And if I want to have that challenge, then I go forward. But if I feel like it's not serving me, then there's no need to stay. I think I'm past that idea of that I need to stick it out for a company or for a job. Like my life and myself is more important.
Well, it's not that you're able to make that, decipher that, because a lot of people, get stuck with, very corporate minded, like, this is my company, these are my people, this is what we do. So I think it's valuable that you take, not necessarily the groupthink approach, and you're kind of more objective and taking, time for yourself and also trying to focus on a job, but not getting too sucked in everything that goes on politically in the job.
But I mean, I've had experience where I was taking work home and not putting myself first. And I think that's what anybody, whether it be relationship, jobs, anything, health.
Yeah, it's easy to do, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So changing gears, what do you think 2023, looking back, what do you think your favorite things that you, whether acquired skill-wise or just things that you challenge yourself with, like what did you, compared to 2022, what was different, or what did you take away from 2023? Or even just things that you did differently, whether approach or, vision or...
I think acknowledging things that I did not step up to do or vocalize. I think the biggest thing was just being able to acknowledge my faults,
Right.
acknowledge things I'm limiting myself in, and recognizing like it's easy for us to be a victim in our story rather than like a savior. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing. It's easy to point a finger rather than take responsibility. So
Right. Well, it's funny because we have different approaches towards, I think, life in general. So, like, it's kind of interesting to see, like you said, whether you're the victim or the hero in the story. I'm more like, my approach to things is more like negative or like objective, and yours is kind of more positive, or, it's like the other side of the scale. So it's interesting to see like how we function together on like a day to day.
yeah, I mean, I think people say, "Oh, my personality is go with the flow, flaky kind of," but at the same time, it's kind of like, I mean, in some regards, there's certain things that I want to control, and there's some things I don't control, and so I'm kind of having to figure all of that out as I get older. But I think life should be explored. There's no right or wrong way to do anything in life, whether you fail or be successful. I think life should not just be one path to travel. I think there's many paths and journeys, but you have to be kind of like open-minded about it too.
Sure. What's big you got to say?
With teaching, the kids do not want to be there and they have no interest being a doctor, nurse through. Though they might not want to be there, they know it's for the best. So you'll feel more productive, wanted, helpful, actually do something good and rewarding, not saying teaching isn't. No, I agree. I think kids aren't able to have an imagination anymore because they have tablets and phones and all this technology that tells them where to be, who to be, and they're not able to actually think. They're not able to figure out things, how to solve a puzzle, how to, if I can't jump, if they playing outside and they stumble upon an issue, like their brains don't work like we did. We had to figure it out, and if we fell and scraped ourselves, we get back up and do it again until we figured it out. But I think it's a lot of holding hands and not allowing them to actually fly the coop, which you could still give guidance, but they're not able to do it. And then I think it's a lot of things. Because the first thing people want to be like, wow, do podcasts or do something technology based. I think those are awesome, but those things won't function if you aren't able to figure out the ins of how to drive a car or how the AC works or how the internet or whatever. There's different trades. There's different things that goes into not just sitting in front of a camera or rapping or whatever the case may be. It's just like everything is kind of like rapid gratification rather than it actually like, I don't know, like putting a skill, like actually learning multiple skills. You can learn. I feel like life is you should be able to explore different skills, not just be in one genre of things or one interest of things. I think after a while you get bored. That's why if somebody goes into, oh, I want to be a podcaster at 15, I'm pretty sure by the time they're 18, 19, they're struggling to stay afloat because their interest is going to change.
Well, I think, that's the difference between like our generation, I feel, and like our parents. Like our parents, education was big for them, and a lot of them didn't get the education that we have now. So like we were incentivized growing up. We were always pushed, go to school, go to college, become a nurse, doctor, lawyer, whatever. And like our parents didn't have that. They were always kind of, and some parents did, but I think like our parents didn't have it as quite as easy as we did. There wasn't quite the push to go to school and stuff that there is now with our generation anyway. But now the future generation has seen, TikTok, you can make, $1 million a year, whatever. If you get enough followers, you get enough branding, all that stuff earlier, you can continue your life and have a lot of money and, sustain yourself at a younger age and skip the college part. So I think, society's kind of pushed them that route. Also, they see the instant rewards, why be a lawyer or a doctor and make 100 to 200,000 a year when you can make $1 million a year and just stay home and podcast, what you're doing, your activities, where you are, what you're next to, whether it's a jet, car, beach, whatever. So it kind of incentivizes them to not go to school. So I think in the next 15 years, though, I think we'll see a shortage in lawyers, doctors, all that, because they are busy being influencers, which, is fine. Do what makes sense. But I think you'll see it kind of flip-flop the other way as far as the demand for lawyers and doctors and nurses will increase because there aren't, anyone that's qualified, quote unquote.
Right. I'm not a person that, I mean, I'm not even rather having a teaching background. I don't feel like you have to go to college or whatever. I feel like there's different levels of being quote unquote successful, whatever that means to each individual person. But I feel like there should be a range of exposure when it comes to different careers. And I know technology and people, technology is a big thing, but right now you need somebody to be an electrician. You need somebody who can fix the AC. You need a mechanic. You need somebody, like our day-to-day of eating and going to a restaurant. There's people who actually do those things, for you and all the things like that. And I think we lose that thing of pushing. We need to be on technology based. But I think it also, I guess a part of me is I'm still a physical doer. I want to do rather than solely just have something serve me. I still want control in my day-to-day rather than have something or someone tell me who and how to be.
Right. We still want to be a boss, your own boss.
Not say boss. I want my own. I want my free will.
Right. To be able to choose to do what you want.
Yeah, to think.
Right. Yeah. Well, society's done a good job at that too. Like you said, even the Russian, infiltrating our presidential elections and stuff like that we've seen in the recent history. I think that's going to become something that's, more of an issue later. Same thing with AI. I mean, Elon just did something 6 days ago to show the new, I think it was Optimus or something it's called, but it basically showed a whole presentation about AI and where he's at with it. So I think to be an influencer and all that stuff is great, but Elon, Jeff Bezos, all those guys that are creating, robots, they're sending rockets to space. Elon's still trying to get people to Mars. So I think there's levels of discrepancy between, people that are doing AC service and then your educators and then those guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's a complex kind of thing.
Yeah.
We have a balance of needing entertainment because podcasting and certain things is entertainment because you can choose to turn it on, turn it off. But your day-to-day life is something that you really can't turn off. So.
Right. Well, I think even podcasting is kind of the end of the road as well because, now people have shorter and shorter time spans. So now that's why TikTok is so famous because, you have 10, 15-second clips. You just keep scrolling all day. It keeps feeding you your algorithm of whatever you like. and like you spend hours doing it. Whereas podcasting, the long form of conversation, is kind of something that's outdated now. Like back when Joe Rogan and all those guys were doing it, you know, there's still a bunch of podcasts that are coming in that are making it, but you know, it's kind of like on the end of the changeover, I guess I would say, to like TikTok and less videos, less time, all that stuff, more frequency, you know, to just get your attention and just keep you scrolling throughout somebody's page or channel. And I think that's kind of where we're going direction-wise.
Well, yeah. Anyway. I mean, for me, I think I also look at it as more of like things like podcasting and TikToking is kind of a way to avoid our own day-to-day lives and see what other people is doing and seeing that comparison, and it creates an emotional attachment to whether or not we're somewhere we think we need to be comparing to somebody else's life. Or I think for me it's kind of when I do indulge, it's a thing of like passing time, information, or just avoidance for an hour or two of what I need to do, right. Whatever. But it's everybody's way of using social media is very different, but it is a distraction type of tool.
Yeah. Well, I think there are people that, you know, like there's different genres of people that do interviews too, you know, like there's Joe Rogan interview styles, you know, Lex Friedman does like more AI, like tech, like that type of environment. So there's different genres of what you can watch there, you know, also. So, I mean, like you said, some of it's time wasting, but also some of it is, you know, like
informative.
Right, or, you know, academic, you know, background, things like that you can use, or the things you might not be aware of as far as like technology, where it's going, and like people that work at MIT, they kind of like Sam Altman with OpenAI, he was just on Joe Rogan, and you know, that was something that was interesting because they were discussing AI and he works with it, you know, hands-on every day, so it's kind of interesting to kind of get that insight that you wouldn't have had otherwise, you know?
Yeah, everything is helpful. Everything, no matter what it is, we see everything is helpful because I mean, it tells you about yourself too, in some sense too. So it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah, definitely. So what are you looking forward to in 2024? Did you make your goals list?
I did make a goals list per se, some superficial and some, you know, that will probably test me, but I think ultimately I want to, I don't know. I can't sum up what I want in a whole year because I want I'm a different person. I'm a different person every day. I think maybe, I don't know. I think I'll say a different version of myself for 2023, but I think it just stepping into a different version of me that's helpful for myself and my goals in my future.
Gotcha. She's probably looking forward to being on the chair.
I was thinking about that. I was like, you know, sitting down. But right now, that's a challenge for the end of the year, is to stand up here and get on camera and talk. I mean, talking to people is not. It doesn't make me uncomfortable. Yeah, I talk to people, but it's just you know, I say insecurity is just one of those things. It's like do something uncomfortable, so I might as well just do it.
That's why I figured I'd get it on here, because I mean, I've been doing gaming and stuff and fucking around with like Forza, you know, SnowRunner and Call of Duty with the guys and stuff. But I just figured I'd, you know, like to get your opinion just as far as like, you know, how's 2023, what's going on with 2024, you know, and just kind of touch base and see what you think about the future, if you're optimistic, you know.
I feel like things will flow as need be, and things I need to step up and control and take the reins of. Well, I have to be brave enough to do.
That's the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other questions or anything you want to discuss, or anything that comes to mind?
I don't know.
All right.
It's more easier to answer questions. But I mean, unless it's like a flow of like going back and forth, because I can talk about and ramble about a bunch of stuff.
Right. Well, do you think you're going to get back into painting again this year? I know that we were kind of painting like 2022 we were painting a lot more. 2023 I think I only did like 1 or 2 paintings, but I wasn't sure if you were gonna get back into that or not.
Yes, I would love to go back to painting. Part of me felt like I wanted to do it today, but just wasn't in me. But yeah, I would like to paint and be creative again. I think that's kind of been part of the lag in life right now of not being creative and being expressive in a colorful way.
Well, I think there's definite benefits to it because it helps stimulate creativity, but also it helps like your process. It slows you down a little bit because you have to kind of be intricate with like your strokes and like where things are going to be, and you have to kind of build the image in your mind first.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a lot of positives to painting that you don't go kind of unnoticed. You know, from the outside they just see the finished product. But, you know, while you're doing it, I think, like, what I've learned anyway, specifically, is, you know, the process of it really helps me to kind of build something in my mind first. And, like, you know, if I do this line here, how does it affect the other side of the painting? And, like, things like that, that I think, you know, not everyone would see, you know, looking at the finished product.
I mean, it's therapeutic.
Right.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
It's an escape to create something.
That's very true. So Santa good to you this year, though? Did you get everything you wanted?
I didn't really want anything.
No.
No. You get a whole year to create the things you want.
Mm-hmm.
I had a good time. Christmas is always fun with the gang and the crew. It's always nice to be able to it's not even really for me about gifts. It's just about seeing the excitement of somebody not thinking you were paying attention, of saying the things that they want or need, and then they get it, you know. A holiday is a holiday. Just be joyful. So
yeah. I got to enjoy building a Barbie house and putting a bike together, so that was exciting.
Yeah, I think again it's being able to create something for a child so that they can use their imagination.
Well, it's their experience too. You know, it's different than yours. Like I was, you know, building it so she could enjoy it, but like I said, it's, you know, she gets to build that in her mind. You know, what's she gonna do with the Barbies? What functions are they gonna do? What conversations are they gonna have? So, you know, whereas me, I get the grown-up version of just putting it together and looking at like the engineering side, quote unquote, putting a plastic castle together. But it still, you know, helps mentally.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to give someone something that you may not experience. And it's always a fun, joyful, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I mean, we did almost 30 minutes. So, I mean, if you want to keep going, we can keep going, or we can shut it down.
It's up to you. I mean, it'd be nice to like play a game together and we could do this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. We'll have to get like another headset, another controller for us to do that, but we could figure it out.
Yep.
And you got to get in the snow runner with Biggie so he can pull me out of the mud and stuff.
Mhm.
So we use some trucks.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. I'll let you get back to doing whatever you're doing, and I'll probably jump on and chill with the guys for a little bit. But I appreciate your time and conversation.
Thanks
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
invite.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.